Welcome back to the homestead.
Yesterday I went to get the sap. I collected the sap out in the woods, and we have some containers that go pretty good distance back in there, and I got a tick on my neck, which you got off, thank goodness,
Yeah.
because
it wasn't attached yet. It was just
attached.
there, but yeah.
We should have got video of that.
Should have. It's not like horrible life and death situation. Just got to know it's there, be aware of it, and then check. If you come out of the woods or a place where you think there might have been some ticks, check yourself out, have your partner check you out in places that you can't see yourself, and then that's it. Take care of it. If there's one there, just get it off of there and clean up the spot. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't attached, so that was good.
It was good. First tick experience.
But yeah, we're getting more sap. The sap is definitely filling the bucket. I mean, it's not full. That's a 40-gallon.
So yeah, we have a 40-gallon bucket, and it's more than half full. And and this is our first time ever tapping trees for sap. Mm-hmm. And we don't have a lot of the maples tapped that probably could be tapped, that we could be getting additional sap from.
I'm not the expert in identifying trees, especially in the winter time, right? When there's leaves on it, they're easier to identify a maple tree because the leaf is very distinctive. There's no leaves. So I'm looking at bark and branch style and all that kind of stuff, and I'm guessing. And so far, I've found, what do we have? 2, 4, 6, 7, I think 7 or 8 trees, but they're smaller trees.
They're not very wide to tap, but we're still tapping. We're still getting quite a bit of sap out of them. Fun fact, you can also tap birch trees from what I've read and get sap from those, but from what I understand, the sap, the syrup that you produce from those may taste
like maple syrup.
It's not as sweet.
I think they said yeah, and they said people will use that more for cooking. Like if you have a recipe that calls for syrup, you would add that to that more so than like putting it on pancakes or breakfast.
You still use, I mean, and we have a lot of birch trees. We did not tap any birch trees this year. I'm hoping, because typically, from what I understand, the maple season, the tapping season, whatever, lasts about 2 or 3 weeks. It's really going to be dependent on the weather. So if it drops down to really cold, freezing temperatures at night, and then warms up to, 40, 50s during the day, is when it's your prime time to tap the trees. If we can get at least a gallon of syrup out of what we have collected,
if we can get any syrup, I'd be happy, just because it's our first time.
Yeah, this year we're not going to go crazy with it, but next year I think we'll.
Well, and it's also, we're still getting things established, so we didn't want to go too crazy on that, because that's my understanding, the processing, once you have the sap, then to process it down to syrup, that's quite a bit of work.
It is, yeah.
So, again, time management, we got to balance the time. And speaking of time, it's time for chickens. I actually talked to the guy today about our layers, our chickens that we're getting that are going to be laying eggs for us. It should be next week that those chickens will be ready. They'll be 17 weeks old when we get them, which means they'll be close to egg laying age. But with the layers, we had to do the coop.
Yep, we did the coop, and that took us about, I don't know, a week or 2, week and a half.
Yeah, a little over a week.
We finally got it done. And for those of you wondering how much did it cost, so we came up with a design, got an idea of what we wanted it to look like, and we did use some leftover tin that we had, and then some that he got on a barter.
Yeah, so I had,
for the
if you've seen in some of the other videos maybe, we had this black box trailer. I actually made that from an old horse trailer years ago when we were in Virginia. And that's been sitting here on the property for the last 6 years. So as a part of his sale / barter for that, he paid me some cash and he brought some tin, which is the tin that got used on the chicken coop. He has the cutter, so he cut the size exactly how I needed. I told him the sizes and he cut them, so that was awesome. Yeah. And he brought other stuff, some fencing, chicken wire type stuff, a big sled to pull stuff around the yard with, which we've already used that thing quite a few times. And there's some other random stuff I can't think of off the top of my, the fence posts, the big metal fence posts. He gave us like, I think he had about 20 of those almost, 15 or 20 of those. So yeah, we sort of took those as trade along with some cash for the trailer, and it was a win-win. And then the rest of the coop was, the structure framing was done with crates / pallet wood that we picked up from behind the Tractor Supply. I talked to the manager over there and he was like, we got tons of old crates and stuff back there. If you want to go take them, feel free to take as much as you want. So I did that. Mrs. Howell came with me one time to help me load that stuff up. We had that truck loaded. Big stuff, big crates and pallets. We do have video of that. You guys are actually looking at it right now. Yep.
So we built the inside of the coop is built of that, but then the outside of it, the exterior, like the siding of it, was made from boards that he milled from trees on our property. So that was really neat to be able to use that and not spend money for lumber. It was really nice. So
yeah, the only thing we had to spend some money
was paint and the ridge cap.
1 gallon of paint, and the ridge cap was $20. So everything else was stuff that we either already had here on the property from other projects, pallets that we picked up, things that were bartered, and wood that was milled. And that was it. Everything came together pretty nice.
I'm gonna let the cat in.
Uh-oh. Mrs. Howell's going to let the cat in. She's out by the window. There she is. Welcome back, kitty kitty. So that is done.
Oh yes,
Chicken coop.
Yeah, the coop is done. So we're just waiting on them to get here. And then we went the other day down south, down east, and
way down south.
And we went down there, and a lady wanted some stuff cleared off of her property, and basically it was open to anyone who was interested. So if you wanted to tear down, she had a lot of outbuildings, things for like, it was the pig structure, chicken coops, and just fencing. A lot of fencing with T-posts, cedar posts, hog panels. What else did you find? A lot of wire, stuff like that. Oh, a lot of 2x4s. She just had random 2x4s laying all over the place.
Originally, they were a part of the fencing as like the little angled brackets and stuff.
They're all on the ground.
Yeah, there was a whole section of a field where like 2 sides of the fencing itself was gone. The posts were still in the ground, but then this other 2x4 brackets had fallen off because the hardware rusted off and whatnot. But most of the boards were actually still in decent shape. So we pulled a bunch of the T-posts and cedar posts. Mrs. Howell ripped one out with her bare hands, like a beast that she is, because she's awesome like that.
I just took I just put all that aggression and just gave it to the
Superwoman.
cedar post.
But yeah, we loaded that thing up, and
we had a lot of stuff. Considering we were there all day.
Pretty good, yeah. But the unfortunately,
quite a bit.
it's a 2-hour drive one way to get down there. And with my little Tacoma pulling that trailer when it was loaded, there was a couple spots where it seemed to not handle so great. So then I don't think I'm gonna make more trips back.
We were fishtailing like this.
Yeah.
People probably thought you'd been hitting the
pulling
hooch.
Pulling it sideways like the Dukes of Hazzard.
They probably thought you were hitting the hooch.
Yeah, you know, riding with Jack.
But we weren't. It was just.
She wasn't.
It was acting a little wonky. Really, the agenda for the summer is to get the garden in. We have our starters, or their seeds. Our seeds, which seed starts, are doing really well. I did make a mistake. Well, not really a mistake. I followed some advice. Yeah. We had two trays of tomatoes. We actually had 3 trays of tomatoes. No.
It was 1 tray of all tomatoes.
All tomatoes.
1 tray of pepper and tomato mix, and 1 tray of onion and celery.
Okay.
The onion and celery.
They're gone. Charlie. And I had 1 thing of tomatoes that didn't make it.
Yeah.
So I watched a YouTube video of someone who was off grid who said, oh, well, you can put them in your car, you know, park it out where the sun is, and you know, which the sun was kind of hit and miss that day. It really was more cloudy than anything. But put them in the dash of your car for the seed starts, and it'll do good. So I did that. Well, I guess it got too hot. They were green when I put them in, and when I got them out, they were completely white, and they were just wilted over. So I was like, oh, that sucks. So mainly we lost some celery and onions and a few tomatoes. The good news, on the other hand, is I did the same with the peppers. The peppers thrived. They actually are just shooting up. Then we have 2 more trays of tomatoes that are just shooting up really well. So we'll have plenty of tomatoes. I don't doubt.
Tomatoes and peppers.
Our onions and celery, we
hopefully
lost.
have plenty of those.
Yeah, so the peppers were the biggest one. I was really wanting in the habanadas because this is our first year planting, and I've heard those are really good. We buy a lot of peppers, and anyone who buys peppers, bell peppers in the store, knows they're pricey these days. So if we can grow our own, that'd be great. And I do buy them quite often. We'll be growing more food than that, but these were our first seed starts that we've done. We're going to do our next seed starts will be the brassicas.
Also, speaking of things that we're planting, we have the trees.
So we have fruit trees coming this month. And
they do the planting for us. It's a part of the package deal when you buy it from this company. They're out of Dover, Foxcroft, and they do apples, pears, peaches, plums, apricots, cherries,
fruit,
and pears.
Yes.
7 different things. And we're probably going to have 2 of each, even though some of those are self-pollinating. There, you could have just 1 and it would still do well, but they usually do better with a pair. Right. And then some of them you have to have a pair, otherwise they won't produce fruit, they won't pollinate. So we're going to have 2 of each, so that'll be 14 trees plus blueberry, raspberry, and blackberry bushes. We're going to get a bunch of those put in. And yeah, that'll be hopefully around the end of April.
Blueberries should grow really well here, considering Maine is one of the blueberry capitals. You know, Maine is where they grow. You've got Wyman's that produces blueberries in Maine.
Yep.
That you buy in the grocery store. I know you guys have seen it in the frozen food section.
Yeah, hopefully if we have those, we'll be able to use the fruits and berries that we produce to make jams and preserves and can those things up, because we love that kind of stuff.
We did. We made a bunch of blackberry jam in Washington. Blackberries just grow everywhere there. And
so that's been what's going on. All kind of good stuff around the homestead. We woke up to snow this morning on the ground.
It was just it was a dusting.
It's gone now.
Then it turned
like
to rain.
Midday now.
Melted away. So that was good.
Yeah, because it was kind of rainy, drizzly when we woke up.
And the
snow.
wind has been nonstop. Like, it's real windy again today. It's been windy, goodness, since the middle of last week. I'm like, wow.
We had the solar panels, half of our panel array got flipped upside down.
Got flipped over, so we had to go back, flip them back, make sure they weren't damaged. That took half a day.
That was scary.
Then, it was scary because we thought they would be damaged. Thank the Lord they were not damaged.
There's a row of 12, and like 7 of them were flipped all the way over and upside down. It ripped them off of the
So much
stand that they're attached to.
Right.
One of the little brackets, it's aluminum, but I mean, it's pretty stout, was twisted, just like completely twisted off.
Crazy.
Ripped one of the wires out. Thankfully, I was able to just redo the connector on there and got it back.
Thankful that nothing was damaged.
None of them broke. None of the tops of it got shattered. I was able to, we have extras of those little brackets, so we just replaced that one that was bent.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was all day working on
I mean,
getting
and
that.
the crazy thing was you have plans to work on a certain project and then nature happens and then your plans, like our mailbox fell down, and I just couldn't help but to laugh at it because it fell down, it was completely on its side. It was in the previous video, but I thought how funny would that have been if the mail lady, she drove by and she just kept driving.
Yeah, she didn't even stop.
If she would have put the mail in it and left it on the ground. Sorry. That just cracked me up so bad. One good strong gust of wind and we're back to our original problem.
Mailbox on the ground.
It would have flew it, and then here we go again.
Yep.
Yeah, good stuff. But it's just funny. So, but what we'd like to do next, or coming up soon, I know so many projects coming up, but would be to build a barn and then mount the solar panels to it. So it gets them off the ground.
Speaking of that, we're also going to make the chicken coop solar, and we're going to mount the dish on the chicken coop, so they're going to be decked out. That chicken coop is going to have solar panels and a dish and everything.
Although the dish satellite is not for the chickens, they won't be watching
Maybe
TV.
we put a TV out there for them too.
They're not watching TV. We are going to mount the satellite too. Actually, that's something you can do today. I just found something for you to do today.
Yay!
I was asking you what could
Good thing you found something, because I didn't have anything else to do.
Good stuff. So that's about it. That's what we're doing.
This is my life.
And yeah.
Work. All day long. Work while I sing this song.
Hey, I work too. I work with you.
Yep.
We both work. We work hard. But that's what we have planned to do this summer. A lot of projects. And we'll take you guys. You can see everything we're doing as we get different stuff accomplished. We hope you guys like the video. Stay tuned for more updates as we get more projects completed.
More stuff to come. See ya.